Why did you become a recording artist?
I loved music since I can remember. I had a microphone in my hand. I was always interested in it. My dad had thousands of cases of CDs in a case. 1,000 CDs in a CD case. So I used to pull the CDs out, look at them, listen to them, and just check them out. That's what made me want to be an artist.
How did you get into hip-hop music, though, specifically?
Hip-hop was the first genre I really listened to. Doggy Style by Snoop Dogg was the first album I ever listened to, and it changed my life.
And what drew you to that particular album? That just so happened to be the first album you ever listened to?
Yeah, it looked cool. There was a cartoon on the cover, and I was a kid. I was like 7 or something like that, and it had a cartoon on the cover, so I grabbed it, and I'm like, what's this? You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because I'm a 7-year-old kid listening to all this explicit-ass music, you know what I'm saying? But it was pretty dope.
Was it a certain song or just the album in general?
The album as a whole. Yeah.
And you're just flipping through or just looking at the different selections and you just, that particular cover just catches your eye?
Yeah, it just stuck out to me.
Or he was already listening to it already and you just happened to...
It just stuck out to me. I didn't know, at that age, I didn't know what artists were who. You know what I'm saying? I just used to listen to the music. I used to hear the music. So when I go in the CD cases, that's when I knew the names. I would read the names and see what their faces looked like, and I would open up the cover art and just read the back. That's when cover art and all that stuff was dope. You know what I'm saying? When we appreciated it before everything went digital. But that was like the first one I like opened and I looked at it and I'm like, oh, it's a cartoon. But I didn't get the meaning behind it. It just looked super dope to me.
And was this something you did in front of your father? This is something you're doing?
I just used to grab him. I don't know if he was aware. I honestly don't even know if he was aware that I was doing it. He might have just let me grab him. Like, it's music, it's harmless. But I used to go in the CD cases all the time, open up the All Eyes on Me album. I remember seeing all that stuff as a kid, vividly, like super vividly.
How did you learn how to rap? Did anyone teach you?
Nobody taught me. It was God-given. I can't even explain it. We used to do journals at school, and my teacher, shout out Miss Steffi, she asked everybody to make one that rhymed. And I kind of had like the dopest one, and she was up there like praising me for it, how good it was. And that's when I kind of secretly knew, oh, I'm good at writing. You know what I'm saying? I'm good at putting words together. So I used to see Lil Bow Wow and all these little kids, rapping and stuff like that. So I'm like, I could do this too. You know what I'm saying? I look like Bow Wow. I could pull Bow Wow girls. I could do this. I could do that. I got to wear words. And then I started watching battle rap. And that's where like the bars came into play. It's just like, this ain't no like kiddie rap shit. It's like, I'm going to like rap. Like I want niggas to feel every line.
What grade was this?
2nd grade.
And what school was this?
St. Francis Xavier. It doesn't exist anymore. It was, they changed it to Gibson Charter. It's in the middle it was a private school. It was a Catholic school, private Catholic school in the middle of the hood in Overtown. It was just like this square like school right here, like this. And it was a private school, a bad-ass private school, but so many smart and dope people came out of it. Yeah. St. Francis Xavier. Thank y'all for making me who I am today.
Anyone famous come out of that school?
Only my godbrother, if I can think off the top of my head. Denzel Perryman, he plays for the Chargers. That's my godbrother. He went to St. Francis with me.
You seen him play a professional game yet?
I haven't been to any of the games, but I have. I support him from a distance. I call him, FaceTime him, cheer him on social media. You know, we do talk our shit when sports come on. You know.
So back then, when you started rapping, this was something you wanted to do on your own, or it was somebody like put a battery behind your back, suggested it?
Nah, I kind of liked doing it. I think people telling me that I was good at it fueled it. You know what I'm saying? Like people saying that you're really good at this. It kind of made me want to take it serious. You know, I like being good at stuff. So if you tell me I'm good at this, okay, I'm finna go try this now. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not? If somebody's telling you, oh, you got this gift, you got that gift, why not try it? And I think I understood that at a young age. Like, I'm good at something. Let me do it.
Now, you had mentioned Snoop Dogg. You had mentioned Tupac.
Yeah.
Earlier in this conversation. And I don't know if they fit this answer, but I'm still going to ask anyways.
Okay.
Did you have any musical influences, anybody that inspired you back then?
Tupac definitely inspired me. That explains the nose ring. But Tupac definitely inspired me. Oddly, Eminem inspired me. Not oddly, because he's dope as a MC, but me being a young black kid, you wouldn't think I would, relate to the type of content that he was putting out. But weirdly, I was kind of into that kind of stuff like super early. So I had the Lil Wayne influence, the Kanye West influence, because I'm only 27, so I'm kind of like in the middle. I'm not like I'm a 90s kid, but I'm still like the 2000s was like my era. I saw GUnit, I saw Dipset. I got to see that kind of stuff, so that brought up my influence a little bit more than the actual 90s.
What drew you to Pac?
His message. I think I drew more to him as a person than I kind of did musically. The music kind of just felt natural because he was kind of talking about what he stood behind, so it felt real. You know what I'm saying? And Pac was more for his people. Like, I would like to say I'm for my people. I want to see my people genuinely do good. I want to see my people win. And Pac was just trying to save us melanated people, you know what I'm saying, from being bamboozled and corrupted and getting fucked up out of here in these streets. He wanted us to fight. He wanted us to see us do great things. So I think I was drawn more to that than I was to the actual music. The music just, it felt right. I felt the spirit.
What drew you to Wayne?
Wayne just everything. Everything. Wayne had the swag. Wayne had the bars. He was a down south nigga that had bars just like the niggas from New York. You know what I'm saying? And I'm from Miami. Miami, we not barsy. I come from a booty shaking city and juke music and stuff like that. Not to knock nobody that did that. I fuck with it. I came up from it. Shout out to Luke. Shout out to Trick. Shout out to everybody. All my forefathers. But I liked rap music because of what I was listening to so early. So I wasn't seeing a young dude tatted up with dreads coming from a group, being the youngest one in the group, the smallest one in the group, come out and then be on top. That just was like, that underdog story is crazy. And we witnessed the greatness happen like as it was happening. You know what I'm saying? It was just, Wayne was just all over you wanted to be him. You just wanted to be Wayne. He didn't have an ego. Wayne was just himself. That nigga picked up a skateboard. Like, he was a dude from the hood that was just himself. I like bars and lyricism, even though I'm from New Orleans. I'm gonna do that. I like skateboarding. I'm gonna do that. I want to get piercings and tattoos like a rock star, even though I'm from the hood in New Orleans. I'm gonna do that. He inspired us to be ourselves. That's why this whole generation is like baby Lil Wayne's. All these kids look like baby Lil Wayne.
What drew you to Kanye?
Kind of the same thing. Kanye was really different. He wasn't the street guy, the shoot 'em up, bang bang guy. He was talking about something completely different, and he was, for black excellence, and he was preaching power and putting out good messages at the time. So it was just dope, and I liked his swag too. I like the weird, the skateboard, the pink, the colorful stuff. I like that. Like, I like both things. You can't really put me in a box on what I like. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of liked all of it. I like the real gutter street stuff, and then I like the real skateboard, like, you feel me, like suburban kid, good upbringing, lyricism. Like, I like all of that stuff. I'm a middle child when it comes to that. I'm like the best of both worlds.
You touched on Eminem, but I don't think you really got into Eminem.
Ooh, let's talk about it. I love him. Eminem's my guy. Stan kind of changed my life, man. I remember waking up, watching it was MTV Jams at the time, before it was BET Jams, MTV Jams and MTV, seeing Stan video and him telling a story about a crazy fan and him wanting to kill himself because he's so obsessed with this dude and do the things to his wife and stuff like that. It wasn't like the typical stuff us black people could relate to, but the way he told the story, like, you could see it so vividly. And him being a white dude, you know what I'm saying, from Detroit and having that type of ability, you never seen anything like it. He's like a nerd when it comes to that, and I'm a baby nerd too, so I like that kind of stuff. M is just, he the GOAT. Shout out to M. I want to work with M one day. I do. I don't care what nobody say about M. That's my man's. I rock with him.
And when it came to GUnit and Dipset,
yes.
I don't know if these were musical influences or you just were referencing them as the era that you grew up in.
Because
you mentioned them, but yeah. I don't know if you were trying to put this in your answer or you were just talking about your other answers and you kind of just threw them in to kind of show, I guess, what era you know, you were from?
Nah, they had musical influences on me.
Okay, explain GUnit and explain Dipset.
Okay, so GUnit, I rock with GUnit because I like Lil Wayne a lot. You know what I'm saying? So 50 was already the guy. He was like the hottest artist in the world. We all loved 50. But when he brought these young dudes in, that was just as like his crew. You feel me? I'm ready to put my crew against anybody, and we're gonna go to war with anybody. It was just a special moment in hip hop. It just felt dope. And I'm kind of like a laid back, chill dude. So I like the Fabulouses, the Lloyd Banks, the New Yorker guys. So I used to rock with that a lot. But Dipset, I think Dipset had the bigger influence on me because I used to really listen to Juelz Santana. I kind of was molding my style after Juelz a little bit, the way I was dressing and carrying myself. Like, I really, like, my whole swag and how I was dressing, everything came from, like, Dipset. Shout out to Jim Jones. That's my big bro, by the way. But, like, just seeing them dressed with the skulls and the bike chains, and they started a whole new wave. Like, we wearing tight stuff right now because of Dipset. Like, they had a huge influence on us.
You ever personally met any of these musical influences you mentioned?
That I mentioned? I met Jim Jones. I did some music with Jim. We did the Miami Vampin mixtape where he came to the hood, came to the city, and showed love to a bunch of different artists that from different places down there. We had a collective. Zoe Dollars was a part of it before he blew up. Ball Greasy was a part of it before he blew up. They kind of took off after doing that project. And it kind of shedded some light on a bunch of artists from Miami, and I still thank Jim for that to this day. That's my big bro. Hopefully I can get him on the project. Jim, if you're hearing that, I'm still waiting on that Scared Money verse. Hit me back. For real.
How'd you become a part of that?
Some of my peoples at my team, Reading Nation, they had a lot of connections with like a bunch of celebs, and they were cool with like Zopound and a lot of like the gangsters from back in the day, and they like ran with them, but they kind of chose doing music. They saw like, we got a bunch of these celebs coming through here, like let's work with them, you know what I'm saying? Let's get out of the hood and let's do something positive and let's put some artists on and sign some artists. So I was one of the artists that they believed in. So when Jim Jones came down, I think he hollered at YD and Ball Greasy first. I think that's how it started. And then, you know, Lucci kind of brought me and a couple other people in, and it was just history after that. I actually first met Jim in 2011 though, like we did the Miami Vampin' I think in 2014, but I met Jim in 2011, like before that, when LeBron had first came to like the Heat, and they were about to go to the finals and all that. And I think I played a couple records, 4th of July, and like a few other records. I sat in the car with Jim and played them. He was like, "Yo, that's you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And so we talked basketball and a bunch of other stuff, and we just seen each other later on, and we just kept building a relationship from there.
How'd you even get in the car with him initially?
Through the Reading Nation, the same guys, yeah. They were really cool with Jim. They used to run with Jim like back in the day when he used to come to Miami and stuff, like a long time ago. So they always put me like in a room with him, and I just got to do what I got to do as far as like being myself and being a good person, and letting the chemistry flow. And that's pretty much what happened. Like the chemistry was really dope with Miami Vamps, and I wish we could have stayed together and did something like even doper. But I'm just proud of everybody that came out of it, and everybody that's like doing something right now. Like, shout out to everybody.
So just to clarify, you had a song on a Miami Vamps mixtape. Is that what it was?
Yeah, I was on 3 records on the project. I think it was like 12 on there, but I was on 3. Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't like they just slapped one of your songs onto the mixtape.
We actually were all on like
creating
songs together. Like we were in the studio together, creating together. Like that's how we would do it. We would book out a studio. And sometimes we'll do 2 rooms, sometimes we'll do 1 room, and we'll just have everybody as a collective just cook.